You can't quit on your morals. I was against domestic violence, but it made me feel tired. So I decided to start hitting my husband again. So I wanted to do something a little bit different today from my usual street interviews and screaming at the RSPCA. I'll link that video down below if you're interested in seeing that. I wanted to talk about this growing trend in ex-vegans, because yet another celebrity has declared that she's no longer vegan. I say that hyphenated because you cannot no longer be vegan. You can't quit on your morals. If you follow vegan news, then you would have heard that the latest celebrity, Lizzo or Rizzo or whatever her name is, has decided that she's no longer a vegan because being vegan made her feel tired. I just like to say that being vegan is not a diet. Being plant-based is a diet, but being vegan is a moral stance against all forms of animal exploitation in society. So we reject anything that uses, exploits, and causes an animal to suffer in any way. Basically, we understand that the animals are here with us and not for us to eat, use, and just do what we please with, really. So Lizzo was never vegan because you can't, it would be like saying like, oh, you know, I was against domestic violence, but it made me feel tired. So I decided to start hitting my husband again. You know, that's how crazy it is. You know, there's a difference. Being on a plant-based diet is a part of being vegan, but being veganism in itself is a philosophy against animal exploitation. So I want to talk a little bit about what I think is going on in people's heads when they say, you know, that the plant-based diet made them feel tired, or it made them have low energy or sick, or whatever it is they say. Obviously those things, if you are genuinely feeling tired or under the weather or run down or whatever, investigate it. Go to the doctors, get a blood test, you know, find out exactly what it is that's wrong with you. So my theory is sort of related to quite a well-known medical term, and its lesser known opposite effect, which is what I want to go into in this video. A placebo is an inactive substance, like a pill made of chalk or sugar, that has zero therapeutic effect. Yet, when people believe that they are taking something that will help them, they often report improvements in their symptoms. This psychological phenomenon has been studied for decades, especially in clinical trials, where patients sometimes improve simply because they believe in the treatments. Placebos are commonly used in medical studies as a control to measure how effective a real drug is. For example, if you're testing a new pain reliever, one group of patients might receive the actual medication, while the other group receives a placebo. Surprisingly, people in the placebo group often report less pain, even though the pill they took had no active medical ingredients. That is the power of belief. Now, the nocebo effect is the opposite to the placebo effect. It's literally when you expect something to harm you, and because of that, you start to feel worse. Now, this is really relevant when we talk about ex-vegans who claim that they started to feel unwell on a plant-based diet. So social pressure obviously plays a huge role here when we're talking about the nocebo effect. You know, imagine that you've just had a long day at work. You know, maybe you didn't sleep very well the night before. Maybe you're just coming down with a cold, that there's one going around. So you say to your friends, your family, your workmates, like, oh, do you know what? I'm just feeling a bit under the weather at the moment. And what's the first thing they say to you? Oh, that'll be that vegan diet. That's because you're on a plant-based diet. That's because you're vegan. That's the first thing they say to you. Now, that is more their guilt talking, because you feeling under the weather is just a confirmation for them that it's okay. I need to eat animals. I need to pay for animals to be abused, tortured, forced into slaughterhouses, have their children taken away from them, because otherwise, if I don't, I'll feel tired. So that's what they're doing. But the impact that it has on you is that you start believing what they're saying. Not only that, but then you go on YouTube and you switch on the TV and you're hearing about these celebrities who are no longer vegan, these urine drinking, uber spiritual juice cleansing YouTubers who are also no longer vegan and are now eating raw ears or whatever. And you start to think, maybe it is my plant-based diet. Maybe it's because I'm not eating animals based on nothing. So over time, when you're listening to all this stuff, all these outside influences, you're going to start believing that being on a plant-based diet is making you feel tired. It's making you feel under the weather. So then you start to feel tired and under the weather because, again, that's the power of belief. Now, we know that the science is on our side here when it comes to a plant-based diet. It's very clear that a well-planned, whole foods, plant-based diet is best for optimal human health. Studies show that plant-based diets reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. So if you're feeling unwell or fatigued or tired on a plant-based diet, it's usually down to either poor planning or peer pressure. You don't have to resort to extreme violence because you're feeling a bit tired, which is basically what happens when you go back to not being vegan. It's so crucial to always remember the reason why we're vegan. For the trillions of innocent individuals who, through no fault of their own, are trapped in a hellscape, all for human greed. Females are repeatedly raped, have their babies stolen shortly after birth, and the babies who are deemed worthless are killed by being shot or macerated. The babies who survive their first few days of life are forced into the same oppressive cycles as their mothers, or they're sent to dark, cramped barns or factory farms to live brief lives of suffering and madness. Eventually, they're loaded onto trucks and sent to buildings that we have named slaughterhouses, where they're mass murdered using gas chambers, knives, and bolt guns. Each one of these beings is an individual like you and me, with a unique experience of life, simply wanting to be free. Every non-vegan human is complicit in this oppressive system, whether you're the farmer sending animals to their deaths or the consumer purchasing animal products. The only way to reject responsibility for this violence is to live vegan, remain vegan, and speak up for the victims of what is the largest and longest standing atrocity in history, the animal holocaust. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to help spread the message to as many non-vegans as possible. And I'll see you next time.